y'all, and we're at Winstar. There's Dave, there's Sonia, there's Casey, here I am. And we finagled the setup here to give y'all a bonus round, something we're trying out, a smaller episode, a video episode, because we all are podcasters and we can do that. I mean, I guess other podcasts can, but they don't. So we want to give y'all our opinion of Winstar. Since Dave and Sonia, y'all came here for your anniversary?
Yeah, we did come for our anniversary.
First trip?
It is our first trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never been here, been wanting to try it out. So here we are.
How far is it from San Antonio?
If we don't stop at Buc-ee's, it's probably about 5-ish hours, but you got to stop at Buc-ee's, right? So little, I guess, close to like 6-ish.
Yeah, about 5.5, 6-ish.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is right across the border in Thackerville, Oklahoma, exits 1 through 3. And Casey, how far is this from your home?
About an hour.
Yep. And it was about a 4.5 hour drive for me, and I did stop as well a couple of times. I had good traffic on the way back. I don't think it's going to happen. So I decided to come out here. Casey was coming, and we wanted to meet everybody. I feel like I'm in the car. Sorry, y'all. Hi. And we wanted to give y'all our thoughts on Winstar. This is probably my maybe 10th visit here over the last 15 or 20 years. It's grown by a lot, and I have my thoughts, but I have co-hosts. I kind of want to hear what they have to say. So we're going to talk about some good, some bad, and some ugly. And since Dave and Sonia were coming first, I want to hear your experience. Y'all aren't staying at the hotel, right?
We're not. So I almost feel like we can't give a full, that might change how we feel about Winstar potentially. So kind of disclaimer already there. We're not staying here.
Yeah. So we're staying at a bed and breakfast. It's like 10 miles away from here.
Yeah.
But agreed to Sonia's point. If we were staying here, our thoughts may be slightly changed.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Casey and I are staying here. We've stayed here before. We have one benefit if y'all are smokers that this is a smoking room, and it's a little stuffy for my own taste, even as a smoker. And then you either get stuffy or you get Arctic wind. So the comfort level is a little unreliable. I don't know. Casey, how do you feel about it?
I mean, no, for a hotel room, it's just a hotel room. For the price of it, though, it's not worth it, right? It's Winstar. You're in Oklahoma, and it is a premium on a weekend. So we'll state that it's not a cheap hotel for sure.
So just to be clear, it was over, with tax and everything, over $350.
Yeah, on a Saturday.
And yeah, I don't know that I would never pay that in Vegas, but we did it because Dave and Sonia were coming.
Yeah. And I think that's because you even got a little discount, didn't you?
Right.
Yeah. So I think like first time around we looked at it, it was over like $400, like $450 with taxes and everything. So yeah, I agree. I wouldn't pay this.
It's probably a little pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to give you our thoughts other than the room cost. I know for sure that I've come here as it's grown, and the casino adds more games, and it's a very crowded casino for me. And I don't know if that the design is something I appreciate, but I really want to hear y'all's thoughts. You've come here now. You've been here a couple days and come back and forth from where you're staying 3 times.
Yeah. Yes, 3 times.
So what do you think? Let's start with parking. How's the parking?
Well, we were able to park kind of close in. We parked right at the. I mean, they've got quite a bit of parking.
Oh yeah,
we didn't have any trouble doing that. We parked right at the entrance of the hotel entrance.
Yeah, the main one. There's like a big old globe, says Winstar.
Yeah.
So like right at the main entrance,
so
I guess.
That wasn't terrible. But again, I think it's because there's quite a bit of it. Probably.
Yeah. So when we got here earlier this morning, ample parking. Parking lot is ginormous to begin with, but when we got back this evening, because we took off to go check into the bed and breakfast, you can tell there's a lot more people here. So definitely a little more walking to get into the casino.
Yeah. And then you come inside. So first impressions, thoughts.
It's huge. I mean, I did not expect what I saw. I mean, it's a big casino. You hear about that. You hear it's like the largest casino in the world, and I really just didn't expect that. It's very overwhelming. I think when I first walked in, I just thought like this is a lot. Yeah, that was kind of my first impression.
Yeah, I guess like Danny, you mentioned the layout. I guess it's like an L, right? Where it kind of goes through. It's just like forever though. So you're walking one way, you turn another way. I agree with you. The layout definitely isn't my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost kind of mall-esque. Like it's a corridor of games with kept like a major artery that you go down, and then another corridor of games, and it's just jam-packed. I don't know that I appreciate that. I have a question. Let's think of like a casino that everyone knows, like Bellagio, right? How many Bellagios do you think fit into Winstar?
Oh,
wow.
gosh.
Casey?
I don't know, probably at least 2 to 3.
I was thinking like 4.
I was gonna go higher. I was thinking 5 maybe.
The thing about Winstar, it is long. You got an L, but it's not that wide, really. So I just think like a casino like Bellagio, it's more spread out and wide, but it's better designed only because almost everything's viewable from one area, other than some walls here and there. But here it's just one big L. So like if you wanted to go to New York for dinner, from here where we're sitting here is the other side of the property. It's a long hike.
Yeah, you can't really cut
There's no
across
quick way to
anywhere,
get
right?
there.
You have to
True.
walk the whole distance. Other thoughts. So we had talked about this. We said we were going to share one good thing, one bad thing each, but let's just kind of go through and what are let's go negative first. Let's go low and then we'll go high. So what are some of the bad things about Winstar?
I think for me, we were talking a little bit about this. When you're in Vegas and you're in a casino and that vibe just isn't there, and you start to go, okay, I'm going to go to the next one, take a break. You can't quite do that. You can't go from like New York to
Madrid.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because the vibe is still the same. You're not. I mean, it's just like you said, just a really long casino. So I feel like I never kind of get out of it, if you will.
Yeah.
So if you're losing, it's hard to just kind of get out and go to walk to another casino. So for me, the one big casino, it's not as appealing to me.
Yeah. It feels very warehousey too.
Yeah.
And so I almost wish like each area, so they have areas named after different cities and regions throughout the world, right? And I almost wish each one had a different vibe. And they try a little bit, but not a lot. It just feels very samey to me. What do you think, Casey?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. If you're not feeling it here, 15-minute walk from here will not get you outside the parking lot.
That's true.
In Vegas, you walk 15 minutes, you might have 2 or 3 different casino options.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a Sonic at least down there. That's exciting. What else? What else do we maybe need?
So negatives, right? We're still on like what we don't care for. I will tell you guys the dining options. The food at best is mediocre, which isn't a good thing because this being our first time, I don't know if there's a lot of like other options outside of Winstar where you can quickly drive to, so you're limited, right? You're stuck with what you have. And for what we tried, it was just like,
And there's quite a bit of dining options here in the Winstar.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, that's not for lack of that, but we did try 3 already here and we really weren't impressed with
It was Italian, Mexican,
and then the
quick service.
Yes, on Friday was a quick service.
Yeah.
Yep.
That used to be a Dairy Queen. I'm mad at that.
Just let us know where you went exactly, because y'all went to the nicer restaurants too, right?
We did. We went to the sit-down Italian restaurant. Can't think of the name of it now.
Yes.
And I think I mentioned to Danny, it was kind of like a mediocre Olive Garden.
Yeah.
So it was pretty underwhelming there. And then
right next to the Italian restaurant is a Mexican restaurant, and then that's where we had dinner tonight.
Yeah.
And it was just like they sat us. No one like came and greeted us for 10 plus minutes. And then when we finally ordered and got our food, it was just like, okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Is that the Dallas chain? What is it called, Casey? The popular Mexican restaurant?
No, it's not the
El
Dallas
Phoenix.
It used to be El Phoenix here. But
It's not anymore.
No, it's another name.
It's not Lacima either.
I can't think of the name of it.
Mm-mm.
Well, and Casey and I tried to go to they have a Dallas Cowboys themed bar and grill, and the space looks nice. It's bright and lots of sportsy things around, very Dallas Cowboysy. Sorry, Casey loves Sorry, Casey.
Go Cowboys.
But we go check in at the front desk, and she asked us if we wanted bar seats or a table, and I was like, I don't care. She's like, well, you can go to the bar. And we sat there for 10 minutes talking, never got acknowledged, never just like a wave from the bartender that I'll be right with you. And for me, it's that's the minimum I would expect. Like, hey, I get it, you're busy. They weren't that busy.
Yeah.
I always get bothered when they're not busy, especially, and there isn't an obvious trauma going on, and the staff is talking to each other. They're like chit-chatting, and like Casey was talking to me, and my blood sugar is going down too at this time, and so I was a little cranky. It's getting there, and I was just like, are y'all gonna work today, or are we just like I almost felt like that restaurant manager saying, like, if you're leaning, you're cleaning. And so the service hasn't been wonderful. I will say, on the flip side of that, there are people that clean the lobby here in the hotel like constantly, and they always ask if you're having a good day and are very friendly. So I don't think it's universal, but definitely in the F&B, it's below average, I think.
Agreed.
So they know they have you captive, I think.
Yeah.
So what else?
Well, and this isn't just for here, obviously, but, you know, we were just talking about how, you know, you're gambling and this is a huge casino, and it's a little inconvenient that you have to, especially last night, we had to go, you know, get drinks, because obviously the drinks aren't free, you know, like they are in Vegas. But the lines for the bars were kind of long too last night. You know, there was like 2 bartenders, and we had to like wait in the line just to get a beer, and it took a long time to get that. Tonight didn't seem quite as bad. They have other little setups for the beer and stuff, but we did notice last night on a Friday night that they were pretty short staffed in the bar area.
Yeah.
So
I mean, so we're here on a Saturday night, which I tend to not like to do. It's fairly busy. I was telling Sonia, I was like, in Vegas, I don't like busy or crowded, right? But here, there's an additional level that it's like a messy busy, because you can bring your kids through the casino. You'll see like kids sitting on the edge of the carpet, which you've seen in Vegas, but here it seems like they have summer camp here. Like there's so many kids, and just lots of the electronic scooters everywhere. And because it's so crowded in design, you find yourself ducking and weaving a lot, in my opinion. I don't know about y'all, but I maybe am more sensitive to it.
No, totally agree. We felt the same way walking through like the main area. You know, when we were walking with Casey earlier, he's like, kind of stay on, let's just stay on the outside, just because it is so crowded in the little main area that, and you're right, you see strollers and just.
Yeah, hug the walls. When you're here at Winstar, hug the walls and don't go down the main thoroughfare. Hug against that left wall, and it's a lot faster than going down that main thoroughfare.
And I mean, I guess one of the concerns too with staffing is like they keep growing. They're adding, they're calling it the Lucas Oil Stadium Arena, something. It's an indoor performance space, and they're gonna have some known acts like Zach Brown Band I saw, and there are a few others. And so that'll draw more people, right? They just opened a new spa, which looks nice. And they opened a new fancier part of the pool. And Casey was saying it's how much per person?
$50 for a day bed, and they require a day bed purchase.
So to go into that one, you have to pay per person, right?
Yeah, per person.
Yeah. And we looked out there, and I mean, it looks new, but it looks like a bigger version of the Park MGM pool, very concrete-y.
Yeah, for
Good
sure.
call. Yeah, good way to describe it.
So nothing special about it, and you're having to pay, and then you have to pay for your drinks. And so the feeling I get from Winstar, and I very rarely feel this at any casino, even some of the crappy ones I go into at Louisiana, is that I've given you enough of my money, I'm going to stop gambling. That's kind of how I feel right now, that you're asking me to pay for everything.
Right.
And it's not that great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know they got the market cornered here. There's no competition, and that you see that in the food and the drinks, and even the gambling. I would say it's tighter than Vegas would be.
What is what is the like next closest big casino to this one? And like how far apart are they?
Is Choctaw?
Choctaw?
Choctaw Durant is, probably an hour,
An hour.
as the crow flies, as this Texas would say.
Yeah.
However, driving a car there, you'd have to go either down to Gainesville and over to Sherman and back up, or you have to go up and then back over. There's no direct.
Yeah.
Right. There's not like a highway to get there.
Gotcha.
So I would assume, I don't really know, but I would assume north, as you go north, there would be one closer than Choctaw.
Yeah. So then they have lockdown, to your point. So when it comes to charging $50 to go to the pool, it's easy for them to do it because either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So, and they were busy. They had quite a bit of people out there.
There were people out there, so I don't know. So that we don't go totally negative, what I'm going to ask us to do is talk about some of the good things. If any of y'all might be interested in coming up here to Winstar, and so I will start with my good thing of being that as they're bringing things in, the new stuff looks good. They added a coffee bar, which they had taken out, and so they have that. Having a major event space, I think, is important for those of y'all that are non-smokers. They have a large non-smoking section, which is warmer than the rest of the casino. It feels good. The casino has been very cold, and so there are small things that it's like, all right, I like that they have that. So I'll give them that much. What do y'all think?
On the good side, we've all been kind of complaining about it being cold. However, that could be a good thing. A lot of casinos probably it was hot and muggy, and but here they have air conditioning.
That's true.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
It can chill you out of your room if so you choose. We've actually turned it down because we've gotten too cold. But on the other positive, it is here. It's a casino, and for us Texans, we don't have them down in Texas, so. We're happy, or I'm happy that it is available, and if we choose, we can come up here and have a good time.
Yeah.
And so that's a positive, right?
Yeah. The reality too, though, is unfortunately, let's take Dave and Sonia and myself, but I think this even kind of applies in timeline for Casey. I'm 19 minutes from the Austin Bergstrom Airport. I don't know how far y'all are from San Antonio International, but that's. As we said in San Antonio, everything's 20 minutes.
Everything's about 20 minutes.
And you can drive to the airport, get there an hour and a half before your flight. I'm 2 hours before. Take the flight to Vegas. You actually gain back 2 hours for time zones. And by the time you get to your room, in theory, you could actually make it to Vegas faster than you could drive up here.
100% agree.
Yeah.
So we were just saying that, except for someone like Casey, because he's so much closer, being in Dallas or Fort Worth area. But for us, a 5 to 6 hour drive, it might be worth it for us just to get on a plane and fly to Vegas. And we're same thing. We're about less than 20 minutes from the airport. So we did want to come and experience it, just because it is, so close to Texas right here. And so I will say, for a positive for Winstar, I think they definitely have a huge selection of slot machines. So if you are looking for any slot machine, you will probably find it here. One of the bartenders that we talked to was saying that she did kind of confirm. It sounded like she knew a lot about Winstar. She was saying that she did confirm this is like the largest casino in the world. Potentially one in China being a little bit bigger in square footage, but in terms of slot machines, this is it.
They own it.
So, I mean, that's a positive for them for sure.
You can find pretty much any game you want to find.
Oh,
here.
Easily.
We did and you'll see it on Dave and Sonia's channel, Tavares and Troubles. We did a slot challenge on the new Buffalo Lightning Link game. And they have that. They changed up they have a whole room dedicated to Link games. And they added, I'm going to say, about 100 new games.
Yeah, they did that since June, because we were up here in June, and that room is all new since June.
Wow.
So I was amazed to see that.
Yep. Yeah. What else, Dave? Do you have anything positive to say about Winstar?
So it is, and hear me out on this, it is a Vegas-esque experience, right? So I know we share with you guys, we go to the Lucky Eagle down in Eagle Pass, which is primarily just slot machines. They have a poker room, they have a bingo room, but when it comes to table games, it doesn't exist there, right? And obviously because of their license, it doesn't exist. But here, you will find table games. So if you're into blackjack or 3-card poker, or roulette, craps. All of that's here as well. So if you're close like Casey is, it's not too bad of a quick getaway to come and experience it. I don't know about the price for the room like we were just talking about, but that is a positive, right? It's a Vegas-esque experience.
Yeah. Casey, what do you have positive to say about Winstar?
Well, I kind of just mentioned it on the being here, being positive. But I mean, I do like the staff. Hate to hear y'all had a bad experience, you know. But I feel myself, you know, and I had not gone to the restaurants, right? I did quick meals, but it seems to me I get pretty good service. And again, checking in today, when I checked in, I tried to get her early, and she was very nice. And she actually said, "Well, it's probably because I wanted a specific room, right? And they're all full." And I said, "I'll just put my name down and text me when it's ready." And she's, "Well, it's actually quicker if you'll just kind of come by every 15 minutes because when you reserve a specific room, you know, when they text you, you're basically waiting on that one room that we reserved you for, and that one guest might be the last one to check out."
Gotcha.
So she gave me some advice, just basically to come through the line every 15 minutes. And that ended up getting us a room in like 45 minutes versus maybe possibly waiting an unknown amount of time, right? So
that was odd though. That Saturday afternoon, evening, and we got the room fairly quickly. When we were here in June, we were here midweek, and the lobby was filled with the line snaking to the front desk, and Josh Ray had to wait to almost 5 o'clock. Was that right? You waited a long time.
Wow! So it's like Caesars.
Winstar is Caesars of Oklahoma. There you go. You heard it here first. So we'll close out like this short video. If you like the bonus round extra videos, we want to try to do these on occasion. Moving forward, we might do them for special audiences like members. We're not there yet, but we're thinking about it. And if you like it, comment. If you have questions about Winstar, ask us. We really appreciate it. We'll close this out. I'm going to ask everyone if you would rate Winstar on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being abysmal, 10 being it's perfect, and I never want to go to Vegas again. So I'll go first.
Oh, man.
Winstar is a 3.5 out of 10 for me.
Oh, it's a tough one, Danny. Tough. You're being tough.
I am.
I'm going to say it's a 6.
Oh.
Dave's like, that would be too generous. Sonia.
I'm going to give it
You're not hurting anyone's feelings. Winstar isn't a person.
I know, right? I'm going to go with a 4.
Danny, I'm feeling you, man. You said 3.5. My immediate thought was a 3, but we're right there, right?
Oh, wow. So if we did the math really quickly, 16. So essentially, we're on average about a 4.25. I think that's fair. I think it's fair because if you're going to be this big, one of the things I do when I'm actively working is do change management. And one of the things they always tell you to look out for is scope and scale, right? You can't just make things get bigger or smaller without adapting to that. And I think one of the things Winstar is doing is growing to get more money, knowing that they have a captive audience, but aren't facilitating the change with more and better staff and training, facilities that look good and are exciting and interesting. And I think after a while, this place might get a little old and tired.
Well said.
Yeah.
So Winstar, we want to love you, but you got to do better. Except for Casey, he's a 6. All right, thanks everybody. It's Vegas, y'all. Bonus round.
Vegas, y'all.
Vegas, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, guys.